Happy Vlogmas Day, everybody. Day number 18. Whew, we are getting close to Christmas. So I thought I'd real quick do a video on telling you like how I made my routine, and hopefully you can learn from it. So I'm gonna jump right in because I wanna make this fast for you because it's really not hard. So when I started making my routine, and I started off with a schedule, but schedules didn't work out for me very well. We're just bad sometimes, you know what I'm saying? I needed something that worked no matter what time we woke up. And I am a master of my time. Like I don't have anything on a daily basis besides co-op days that requires me to do stuff at a certain time. I can decide when I'm doing almost everything I'm doing, as long as it works for my family. So does that make sense? So if you're in that situation, and even if you're not, you know, because you can still learn from this, this will really help you out. So the first thing I did is I decided what all I wanted to do in a day, or needed to do in a day, what I would like to do in a day, and then what time of the day would I like to be done by? Like what time would I like to be in bed? I would like to be in bed by 10:30. So then I worked backwards. I also put into my routine things that had to be done or I felt would be most beneficial to be done by a certain time. So a couple of things are those, and I call those touchstones. So a couple of those things, like I like to be done with school by 3:30 because my kids' brains shut off after that. So that's one. So I'm working backwards from that. I don't start with school with my kids till 10. Well, they start their independent work at 10 a.m. I start with them at 12 p.m. because I do my work and I want to start my work at a certain amount of time. Now the goal is usually around 7 a.m., but I'll be perfectly honest with you guys, I usually don't get in there till like 9 or 10. I'm working on that. But it works out for us. And then, which means in order to do, because I love mornings, I ask a lot of my morning, meant that I need to be up between 5:45 and 6:30 a.m., somewhere around there. The reason why this works for me is because now I have set like parameters and I just need to work everything in there. And it's just working backwards. So let's talk about how my routine goes. I wake up in the morning, I come down, I brush my teeth, wash my face, I get myself pulled together. I come out, I switch out the laundry, open up the house. You can check out my day in the life and you'll see a lot of that. Because I didn't put a whole lot of what we did in school. I put a lot of what we did through the day in there. So I do that. I'm a big advocate for self-care. So all my facial routine and all that good stuff goes into there at that time. The next thing I do is I go through and I clean things, or I also start either a candle or I'll put a diffuser on so the house smells good, switch out the laundry, start some coffee. If it's my day to make breakfast, because my older boys make breakfast 2 days a week. If it's my day to make breakfast, I will start breakfast. I'll take care of the dogs. Most of the time, I'll try to go out there and take care of the chickens, check on the animals so I can get a little walking in. I try to check on the garden if I got time to, but because I tend to be slow about my mornings, I mean, I am a slow mover. We love mornings in our house, so it's sometimes I can't get my life together there. Also too, if something didn't get cleaned that night, I tend to do it that morning. I really like to bless my house. It's a very important thing. Before I give out to anyone else, I like to make sure that my home is taken care of. The next thing I do is I take a cup of coffee and I put my collagen in there. I sit down either on my sofa or upstairs in my room and I pretend that I have nothing else to do. And I set a timer for 5 to 15 minutes and I just sit there and I daydream and just meander, because it's the only time that I'm gonna get to put my feet up throughout the day and do nothing. That leads me to my next point, or my next touchstone. Now I've got to get ready to clock in and start working, right? So then I start working, and that can start, the goal is always 7 a.m. and it never happens, but it usually starts between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. Somewhere around there I usually start working. And then by 12 to 1, because I want to start working with my kids at 12, but sometimes they're eating lunch. So between 12 and 1, I go ahead and I stop working and I start schooling my children. we school. Once we're done with school, I make any phone calls that I need to make. I make any appointments I need to make. I do whatever needs to be done. I go out, check on the animals, go out for a walk. Anything that I can do to just, first of all, get some movement in. I might tidy up something, fold laundry. It's often a lot of times what I'm doing too. Whatever I can take care of in that hour and a half, I do that. By 5 p.m., the goal is to start dinner. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but I have an alarm going off at 5 p.m. sharp to always remind me to start dinner. The goal is to eat by between 6 and 6:30, but my son has practice. I do like to push that button a lot so I can at least get some time sitting with him for dinner, because it's important to us that we can sit together as often as possible. We do often do this in the morning for breakfast. However, I don't tend to eat breakfast a lot in the morning. I usually just a cup of coffee until I'm hungry. And that's usually not till about 10 a.m. So collagen makes you feel full. So sometimes we get the breakfast together, sometimes we don't, but I really do like to have dinner together. So I try to sometimes, if he has practice, I'll push that time a little bit. After that, the family gets together and we clean up the house, tidy up, we're kind of just hanging out, doing whatever. Preparing for the next day. I put laundry in for the night. I clock back in and work a little bit longer if I need to, if I didn't get my work done for the day, the quota I have set myself for work for that day. I set quotas. And when I say work, it could be working for someone else or working for Homeschoolific or working for our business. Whatever work needs to be done, I take care of doing that work at those times. And then day needs to be done by 10 p.m. I'm not doing any more work after 10 p.m. It's a done deal. Since we've been doing Vlogmas, occasionally I have either recorded or worked on uploading after 10 p.m., but then I do questionable things because I'm usually half asleep, and then I might have to re-upload a video. But yeah, and that's kind of how it goes. And it's really easy to set that routine. You just kind of know what you need, and that's what I did. I just knew what I need. I knew what times I wanted certain things to be done by. I worked backwards, and I started with my night routine, because I find that if you can get your night routine right, your mornings will be good. Night routine, people keep focusing on the mornings. Guys, focus on the night routine. That is gold. Focus on your night routine, morning will be gold. So that was a little longer than I wanted to be, but I was hoping it could be really much faster than this. But yeah, guys, that's my routine, and that's how you set a routine. It's pretty easy. You can do a schedule, but I like to not be a slave to the schedule type thing. I feel like sometimes like we get caught up in, we shouldn't ever be a slave to the schedule. The schedule is supposed to work for us. So since the schedule wasn't working for me, I created a routine. So if that works for you, do the same. If you want more information on how to create a routine, drop me a comment down below. I'll be happy to share that with you. If you have any questions about homeschooling, go ahead and check the description below. And if you haven't already, visit us at www.homeschoolific.com. I'll see you guys next time for our Vlogmas. Thanks.